The most dominant bodybuilding physique ever has to be Ronnie Coleman at the 2003 Mr. Olympia, as it was stated countless times by other athletes, judges and fans. But what if I told you there is a version of Phil Heath that could challenge 03 Ronnie? Phil Heath's best versions are 2011 Olympia and 2013 Olympia by far, but I'm not talking about any of these two. The Phil Heath version I'm gonna put against 03 Ronnie today is his 2017 Mr. Olympia winning physique. I know, when you hear 2017 all you can think about is his gut, which by the way looked the worst in his entire career. But regardless of the midsection, he was at his absolute best that year. The roundness, the fullness, the conditioning, the details he presented that year are so underrated. And after all, Ronnie had his own issues with the gut in 03, so let's just leave this subject aside for this video and enjoy a footage comparison between these two titanic physiques. In my opinion, 2017 Phil Heath is the only bodybuilding version of any era that could challenge 2003 Ronnie Coleman. In this video, I will show you how Phil Heath can win more poses than Ronnie Coleman. First pose out of the 8 mandatory poses is the front double biceps, where, let's be honest, Phil cannot challenge Ronnie. The footage speaks for itself, I'm not gonna go into details here. The second mandatory pose is the front lat spread, and in spite of Ronnie's poor execution, this is even more obvious than the front double. Phil Heath does not stand a chance in this pose. So any deep analysis in regards to these two first poses are worthless in my opinion. Ronnie dominates. But the third mandatory pose is the side chest, where Phil Heath definitely gets a case for the win. His guns are more dominant, better triceps and longer biceps, his shoulders are popping way better than Ronnie's. Downstairs Phil looks better, dominating the hamstrings and the calves. And for what is worth, his chest does not look that bad either. To make things clear, I'm not saying Ronnie is losing this pose necessarily. He is for sure bigger overall, he's got the better chest, which is the focal point in this pose. He also has that unique paper thin skin. All I'm saying is that there is a strong case for Phil Heath to win this pose, and in many people's eyes, he is winning it. So for answering the question, how many poses could Phil win against 03 Ronnie, we can already count one. Next are the back poses, where the fun begins. First is the back double biceps, where at first glance Ronnie seems like he dominates big time, but going into details, we can notice Phil's better balance and symmetry. Ronnie's glutes could be considered overpowering here. Phil's glutes are as ripped, but having the optimal size. Phil also wins the hamstring and the calves in my opinion. For the back itself, Phil has the better muscle quality, the better muscle bellies and superior symmetry. Again, I'm not saying Ronnie is losing here, all I'm saying is that Phil could win this pose right here, which makes two potential poses for Phil so far. Next is the rear lat spread, and Ronnie looks like he's about to take off. He destroys Phil with overall width, but is width enough? Phil literally looks like he's got a piece of armor on his back. I mean, nobody beats him when it comes to details, separation and fullness in this pose, not even King Ronnie. So yeah, if a judge appreciates that more than superior width, he could go with Phil Heath, especially as we already established that downstairs Phil looks better. So Phil potentially has 3 poses in his bag so far. The side triceps is a Phil Heath pose all day and all night. Just like Ronnie won the front double and the lat spread without discussion, the same is here with this pose for Phil Heath. There is not too much to discuss. So Phil has 4 poses that he could win. He needs one more to have more than half. Remember, there are 8 mandatory poses in total. 2017 Phil Heath would not beat 03 Ronnie Coleman in the abs and thighs. None of them had the best abs, but Phil's look way worse. When you also count Ronnie's superior overall frame, this becomes a Ronnie Coleman pose, or rather, it's highly unlikely for Phil to win this one. But there is the most muscular pose, where Phil Heath is probably the GOAT. It's not like 03 Ronnie could be beaten in the most muscular pose, but if there is somebody that could hope, that one is Phil Heath. The roundness of his muscles everywhere, not only the arms and shoulders, is just unbelievable. Just look at him. There is definitely a case for Phil to win this pose, meaning there's a case for Phil to win a 5th pose in this comparison. So I'm not saying 2003 Ronnie Coleman is losing against 2017 Phil Heath. I don't think that. For me, 03 Ronnie is still the best ever, but I wanted to show you that if there's a physique that could hope to challenge this version of Big Ron, that is 2017 Phil Heath. I wanted to show you that there could be an argument for Phil to win, even though I personally don't agree with that. What do you guys think about this video? Let me know down in the comment section. Also subscribe if you want to see more bodybuilding content like this. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and see you next time.